Oh, this is John, Vintage Fisherman. I'm gonna do one of my favorites, Ambassador. This is the 5501C3 left-hand crank. It's missing the cover right here. I'll find one of those. It's listen to it. I'll put it by the microphone. She's rough, but I'm gonna take this C3 and I'm gonna add a few more bearings to it. I'm doing the Dad's Old Tackle tune-up and upgrade kit. I was gonna get a new smooth drag drag washer kit. Let's do this thing. Let's take it apart. I'm going to use this reel. It's staying in my collection. Let's go ahead and take the handle off. Like I said, it's missing the missing a little cover here. I'm sure I've got plenty of them in my box down there. This is a user quality reel. It's not going to be a shelf reel. Don't think. It looks like it's missing some parts off of it, or missing part of the decals and stuff. I don't save those for the shelf too much. Not when I got about 300 of these reels in stock. There's no point in saving every one of them, but pop this E-clip off. Watch your fingers, don't stab yourself, don't lose the E-clip. Hey, it's just dirty. It's just really freaking dirty. Unlike Daiwa, Ambassador, Garcia, Abu, Sweden puts their drag on in the right direction. I get so aggravated with the reverse drag on those Daiwas. I just don't understand. All right, you're going to have the little plastic clip up in there, which I got this cool little screwdriver. I heated up and bent that I can get these out with without tearing them up. You get your shim in there. I always get X-Acto knife and pop those out. That's all out of there. Okay, let's take the thumb screws off. You can see this is not a cheap kit. It's got all new bearings, everything for the reel is in there, including the ball bearing level line kit. So it's going to go to it's going to be a 5 or 6 bearing reel. There's your spool shaft. Take the spool apart. I do have new bearings. Nothing wrong with these. I'll just save them. This will be most likely a bass reel. There will be I gotta get this off. Something long that I can poke down in there. There's both bearings. There's nothing wrong with them. Well, they could have been squeaky. I don't know. You had a shim. That's under the drive plate side. It's on this side here. This came off the other side. Rusty. Somebody used it in salt water. We'll do this last. Let's go ahead and take this apart. I need more precision screwdriver for this. And as soon as I get this reel apart, I'm going to enjoy this day. Get outside a little bit. It's a Sunday. It's going to be about 65. Fishing ain't quite there yet for the streams around here. Of course, the ocean fishing that I love to do is definitely not there yet. So I'm gonna hang out here at the house, maybe wash my Jeep. All right, these little bitty damn clips right here. If you want to take this gear off, which I'm going to, because I have a new one to put on here. It's got bearings in it. You got to kind of pop those back. Get a hold of it. My big hands, and my hands are cold. That ain't helping. Here it goes. Take that off. And we can clean all that really, really good. Your level line. Go ahead and take the cap off. All these parts will be cleaned up good. I've already cut my parts washer off, so I'm not going to finish this one today. Whoa, that was stuck, and it just took off on me. That was stuck. I don't think I've ever seen one stuck in there. There's the frame. I'll clean that good. You can pop that thumb rest up. You can actually take them off if you desire. I'll always just pop them up and clean up under them good. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, there it is. We got it. Wow, that was stuck. Okay, let's move on. 2 screws. This reel's been used. I'm gonna tell you right now, somebody really liked this reel. They really went after the fish with this reel. I want to say this one came off the West Coast, but I could be wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that's where it spent its life. It's a good chance it did. Oh, everything came off with it. Why did that happen? Something's going on. Oh, it's got the anti-reverse in it. It's got the instant anti-reverse. Okay, my bad. So I will very carefully clean that bearing in place. I don't take those out. This shouldn't have come off of there, but I've seen stranger things happen. Don't know. These are just dirty. Do it like this. This reel is just nasty. That's all that's wrong with it. This is your sleeve that goes down into the anti-reverse bearing. Instant anti-reverse bearing. All this comes off. You've got, and I've got new drag for it, so pry it all out of there. You got those. You got the one on the bottom is still on handle shaft. Off. I do have this. I do have the right drag kit for it. Smooth drag. Everything's in good shape. Over here, lift the spring plate off. So sometimes it's stuck. You gotta give it a little help. Don't just pry on it and break it. Okay. Then this comes off. You pop the pinion out of there. You see all that grease that needs to go. That's not good. This all goes just like you see it here. The spring loops up underneath there. We're going to take these parts off and clean them really good. And you can take the spring off too. Just remember how it goes. That's the whole. That's every single part blown up off of this reel. That's it. You can't take one down any further than that. I could knock this bearing out of there, but I can clean it just as well with it in there. So that's what we're going to do. Scrape some of the old grease out here. This has a lot of grease on it. It's not dried up, but it's not great. I'll get one of my old rags over here. Handle's not bent. Paddles are still good. That's a good thing. This is going to be a nice little reel. It's going to clean up really, really nice. Like I said, I got the new cog. It's the bearing cog. It's got the bearings in it. The level line, it's got the bearings in it. New bearings for the spool. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bearing reel. It's 6 bearing reel. So it's a C6. And I like the gear ratio of the C3. I like that little bit lower speed ratio for cranking spinner baits, crankbaits. My problem I have with a high-speed reel and cranking crankbaits is I'll overcrank them, and they'll go down, they'll turn sideways. And they don't look natural. I don't take my time sometimes. I get in a hurry. I want to get the retrieve back. Yeah. So that's just a discipline thing, I guess, as a fisherman, but nonetheless. Some of the things to look at on these reels is this post here. If you buy an Ambassador and this post is loose, I have a way to fix it. I got an arbor press over here that I can push those back down there and tighten them down with. Even if they're just a little bit loose, I can tighten them. That one's not loose at all. But if you don't have that special tool, you buy one that's loose right there. Yeah, you're probably done. Another thing is where this mounts to the cover. I fixed a few of them, but if it's really loose, it won't. The reel will not run properly. So this reel is going to be beautiful when I get done with it. It's going to be a nice user quality reel. Sometimes I'll buy a 6501 and take covers off of 6501 and put them on a 5501 frame and make a narrow frame left hand with the bait clicker. Because you can add a bait clicker, but you'd have to very carefully drill and all that stuff. It's a pain. But you can make a really nice narrow frame bait clicker reel perfect for catfish. In my opinion, that's the perfect catfish reel. 5500 size Ambassador with a bait clicker. The only way you can get that reel is to get the C4. The C4 5601, 5600 has a bait clicker, and it's a high-speed narrow. Those are awesome reels. I got quite a few of those. All of them are 5601s. Anyway, I'll be back when I get this thing cleaned up and throw some Dad's old tackle at it. I'm going to try this cool high-speed oil from Oka. Be back. Well, it's John. I'm back. Got this 5501 ready to go back together. Let's open up our bag of goodies here. These are from Dad's Old Tackle. $75 plus shipping. Which, honestly, if you're not going to keep this reel and fish with it, you'll never make this money back if you try to sell this reel. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of the way it goes. We'll start out with this. Get this gear here. This one replaces this one. It has a bearing in it. We'll go ahead and do it first. Also has an E-clip in there. Don't lose that. Don't really need to lubricate these bearings. They should be well lubricated from the factory. that little bitty E-clip is not going to stick in my fingers this morning. There we go. It's early. It is early this morning. There we go. I'd like for that to spin a little better, so we'll add some of this to the shaft. Probably should put a little bit in there before. Oh, that makes a big difference. We're going to oil the gear just a little bit. Don't put grease on that gear. It'll slow it down. Bushing right there. We'll put a little bit of oil in that. We'll set that over to the side. You got two bearings. These are the two bearings for the spool. Nothing wants to stay in my fingers today. Up with that. Here on the drive side, it gets the shim, a spring, and a spacer together. Then put your bearing in there. Then your centrifugal weight cage goes on. Then you want to put your spring on. Keep the opening to one of the half moons, so you have a solid connection above the cage to keep it in there. And on this side, you just drop the bearing in, and this just pops in there, and that's the spool. Let's do the level line. So as we go through here, keep all these old parts. That one's not bad. We'll keep it. Here's your worm tube. We'll be using those. Bearings, I got a separate place for them. Worm and tube here. Get two more bearings here. It's already trying to fall apart on me for some reason. This tube has got two bearings on it. Drop down in there and some on that. We're going to put this together. This was really the only problem with this reel, was the level line was locked up on it. We're going to fight everything today. It's not really that cold down here. My fingers just don't want to work. Hope y'all can hear me okay. I'm trying to be quiet. There's people asleep. And I could go in like that. This has got to go in before I put, bearings got to go in before I put that. I don't know why I'm struggling this morning. Slept good. Got my coffee. Well, I don't drink coffee anymore. I drink tea. Coffee's not great for the health problems that I have. We'll do this. It just does not want to cooperate. There, finally. Okay, now it's off. Yeah, it's my first one. I've never done one of these before. This slides in there. Now, drop your hole in there. Now, they make an upgrade to this even. This is still a little bit dirty. We'll see how this one does. I may order the upgrade for it. It's a ceramic pawl. That's the nice thing about these ambassadors is pretty much anything you need for them is available. Is it? Oh my goodness. I know I didn't just do that. I let it slip out. I'm just totally aggravated this morning. Totally aggravated. All right. Some days you probably should just wake up and not work on a fishing reel. There we go. Back on track. Think. Winner. Good grief. All right. This better be worth it when I get it done. All right. Put your level line in. It went right into place. So it may be a little warm, but it wasn't horrible. We'll give this just a dab of grease because I may use it in salt water. I don't think I am. Well, I was getting ready to say though, if you buy a used reel, it needs some love. You don't necessarily wouldn't want to buy a brand new in the box reel just to put this kit on. You would want to use this reel, right? So you you know what I'm trying to say is you buy a used reel for $40. That's about what a used 5501's worth. Work at lube in good. We can go ahead and put the palm plate on. A little bit of grease in there. And by the time you buy a kit from Dad's, which is $75, you're over 100, about 120. Would you ever make that money back if you had to sell it? No. You do this kind of work to a reel you're going to keep. Don't do this to a reel. You can't sell reels and make money like this. Just telling you. Doing 2 of these reels today. Got a 6501. The same kit on it. I forgot to get the drag kit out for this thing. Get that. A little bit ill prepared here. That's the palm side and frame assembled. Bit of ballast off. That goes in first. Then your lever or push button spring goes on like this. See, like that. And the last piece of the puzzle is your jack plate, which goes on like this. And the spring hooks up under the jack plate right there. There it is. A little bit of grease right there. The jack plate hits the yoke. Speaking of which, here is the yoke. Grease in the yoke. I guess I could have used my fancy new lube I got there from Boca. I'm so used to this thin reel grease that I like it. It's good stuff. Works good. And then your yoke Now this reel is instant anti-reverse reel, so there's no dog to worry about. You could put a dog in here. You could have both. Put some good oil on there. Okay. Now we gotta get the grease. Gotta get us a. I buy a lot of. Be sure that's the right kit right there. Let's go ahead. We're in here. Put these bearings up. See, I got bearings and bushings. Keep them in there. These are all used. I've got place for level line and gear. I'll put them in this other box I got. Get them out of the way. Keep your old parts. You never know when they'll come in handy. All right, let's build us a drag system. Oops, I got two drags out. I need two. Well, I'll leave one of them out because I got another reel to do. Okay. We'll cut this thing open here. The Super Tune kit for the 5501 does not come with the drag washers. The drag washer kit from Dad's Old Tackle is $9.80, so you're in it for $85 now, plus $40 for the reel. You don't have to do the extra bearings. You'd be fine just to put the reel back together with just an upgraded drag and lubricate your bearings good. You'd have a super nice, super fast, or fast reel, not super fast, it'd be fast. It'd do the job. We'll use Cal's drag grease on my drag washers as I go. I guess everybody else is waking up with a hangover this morning since the Super Bowl was last night. I didn't watch it. I went to bed early. Took today off, but not because of the Super Bowl. All right. Now we start doing the drags. Lubricate them good enough where when you pull your thumb off of them, you can kind of see your thumbprint. You'll get solid washer and another drag. And then your eared washer. And make sure the ears go down into those slots. And then your final washer. Press plate. Get the concave, convex washers. They need to oppose each other. To create a spring-like pattern. Your spring plate Always give it just a little bit of lubricant right there. And it needs to go on here. Your drive ring, or it's a sleeve that goes up into the anti-reverse. It needs to go, you got an open hole on one side and a D hole on the other. The D hole goes down, okay, like that. Reason it's like that. Hey, I'm going to use some of this new fancy grease on this. Pack some of this into that. Take a clean Q-tip and pack that grease into that, into the bearings, the needle bearings in that anti-reverse, instant anti-reverse bearing. Okay. And then just a dab of grease there and a dab of grease there. I'll slide it all together. There it goes. So you can hear it pop in place. Still not happy with that. Not really going down all the way. I'm not sure what's up. Oh, my bad. The D rings go to the outside. Put this. Let's try it again. Okay, there we go. And these would go on here. Then put our screws in. So remember, your concave convex washers go on the outside. On the instant anti-reverse models, it goes on the outside. On the models that have a dog, that go to the inside, which I build more of those than I do the instant anti-reverse. The instant anti-reverse, if you're going to be fighting a big fish, it may not be the best choice for you. They do strip out. I have seen them strip out. Then you can go ahead and put your drag wire, or your star drag on. Remember, it's reverse threads. It'll get down to a certain point, it's going to spin. You're going to have to hold that. It will eventually, and you can hold it with the handle too if you don't have anything handy. It's turning on down by itself now. So that will pretty much hold the reel together. Next is this washer is on. Oh, and I also need to put this together. Okay, so you got a cap here. Let me get that cleaned out. Way too much WD-40 up in there. Put the brass shim in there, and then some of this oil. Hang on to that. This needs to go in, and I would put just a drop or two of oil on that shaft. Goes in like that. And then your plastic piece goes, should put that on before I put that. It actually goes the flat side up. And I'm a mess this morning. I don't know what in the world. I'm all backwards. I'll get that cap back out of there. I'm going to put a little dab of grease there. Seal that up good. Okay, back on track. Thread that in. We'll adjust it later. Kidding me? Not want to thread on there very good. Put your handle on. And you can go ahead and put your E-clip on it. Some mornings you're just not meant to work on fishing reels. Anyway, we're getting through it, right? It's a 10 millimeter nut. I just use an adjustable wrench on it. And get one of those points right towards. And then I had to go find one of these caps because this reel came in without one. I had some in my box of tricks down there. Now this reel is just dripping with oil because I got a little happy with the oil last night. So we'll wipe it all down good. That's not going to hurt a damn thing. It'll just protect it. All right. Go ahead and put your spool on here. Make sure your centrifugal weights are pushed in. Make sure they work all right. Push those in and then set your spool up inside the weight cage or the weight ring there. Grease, grease, and grease. Put this all together. There it is. Let's see how it does. I always give the thumb screws just an eighth of a turn with the screwdriver. Adjust your spool side to side. I don't normally adjust this on the water. I used to use my thumb. Roll the reel. And the instant anti-reverse feels really good in it. All right, let's see how it spins. And you see guys and they sit there and they do this and it starts going and it goes for forever and ever and ever. Yeah, well, that's nice. I don't know how they do that. I really don't. I haven't had it. Once you put line on it, it'll spin that good. All right, let's wipe it all down. Test it out a little bit more. It's really greasy. I put too much oil on everything. There is such a thing as too much oil. Tighten the drag down. Try it out. Works pretty good. Oh yeah, the drag's nice. That's a good drag. Good day. Getting some serious drag out of that thing. All right. There it is, an upgraded reel. What's it worth? Even with the upgrades, I got 130, and I think I paid 40 for the reel, 75 for the kit, $10 for the drag. So what, I got $140, $150 in it. You might get 100 for it. Because you'll tell people, well, it's got the bearings here, it's got the bearing over here, and people are like, it's still a 5501. They don't appreciate the work you put into it. I'm just gonna tell you, if a customer sends it to you to do, and you say, well, it's going to be X amount of money, you'll get that money for it. You've already agreed to a price. But if you're trying to build this reel to sell it to someone on the street at a flea market, they don't care. They really don't. They want the best deal they can get. So if I were selling to somebody that knew what they were getting, I would probably sell it for $150, just so I can get my money back out of it. If I were going to try to sell on the street, if I walked away with $100 in my pocket, I guess I would say I got kind of my money back on it, but not really. I don't know. There it is. I'm going to fish with it, so it doesn't really matter what I got in it. It's going to get some 12-pound line on it, and I'm going to go catch a bass with it this year. This is John, Vintage Fisherman. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Watch me fumble through on a Monday morning early. I took the day off from work, and if you enjoyed me fumbling through that one, subscribe to the channel and come back and watch me fumble through a few more. I got a bunch of reels to do. This is John, Vintage Fisherman. Thanks for watching.